And that's why it is Bin Taymiyyah who said, let's go back to the fundamentals. Let's live a Spartan existence. And this sort of thing comes in.
But the point about the relationship of Islam and the modern state, perhaps Jinnah never really quite worked that out. Perhaps he never even worked out his relationship with Islam. And Mani Shankaraya, does that continue to be the main dilemma in Pakistan, perhaps the root of the schizophrenia, that the relationship with Islam has simply not been worked out, as Mr. Akbar is repeatedly pointing out in his book?
It is Islam that unites Pakistan, but on the other hand, it is Islamization which divides it. For if you assume that there's only one Islam, the fact of the matter is that ever since Omar Khayyam, the 270 jarring sects have been confuting. There are close to 100 sects of Islam, and if each one of them claims to be the word of God, then you really have a problem. So when Ziaul Haq started this process of conscious Islamization, he was releasing primeval forces that were irreconcilable. And that is happening within that community of Pakistanis for whom Islam is more important than becoming a modern nation state.
So the certain community of Pakistani doesn't want to actually become a modern nation state. But MJ Akbar, I want to come to another point which I found fascinating in your book, which is that you call it a subaltern Islamism. You're actually saying there are elements of class struggle here, against the anti-elite, against the anti-westernized. It's an anti-elite, anti-westernized class kind of a struggle which has a theological fervor. This is similar in some senses to what happened in Iran. You know, that's really fascinating.
Absolutely right.
Tell us a little more about that.
And you must understand, Sagarika, you must understand the origins of the Muslim League. The fear, the insecurity that appeared after the collapse of the Mughal Empire was not something that was down the line. The Muslim League was not a party of Muslims. The Muslim League was a party of the Muslim elite. You can see it in the nature. Yes, to a certain extent, the Congress too was a party of the elite when it was formed in 1875. But Gandhiji actually converted the Congress into a mass movement.
85.
There was nobody in the Muslim League who converted the Muslim League into a mass movement until 1937, when the transition from elitism to the masses was done through the medium of the fear of the eradication of Islam. And that was the rhetoric. Islam khatre mein hai, Islam is in danger. It was not the politics of socialism, it was not the politics of poverty, it was not the politics of the class system which created the Muslim League. The Muslim League, Khaliq-ul-Zamaz, he was the leader of the Muslim League, Pathway to Pakistan. I mean, I suppose I'm using a name which nobody really remembers. But Khaliq-ul-Zamaz told, I think, one of the commissions, that if landlords are removed, then Islam khatre mein. Right. It's a party of landlords.